For centuries, the galactic barrier had stood as the final edge of known space, a vast, pulsating wall of radiation and gravitational anomalies that no known species had ever crossed. It was thought to be the boundary between the known and the unknowable, the real and the mythic. Even the ancient Van Dominion, masters of stellar engineering, had declared it impenetrable. Until the humans arrived. The ISS Dauntless, a sleek spearhead-class vessel of the Terran Exploration Fleet, drifted silently toward the shimmering wall. Commander Aria Calder stood at the observation deck, her eyes fixed on the roiling colors of the barrier. It shimmered like a living aurora, constantly shifting hues, sending off bursts of exotic particles that danced across the ship's reinforced hull. "We're ready, Commander," said Lieutenant Ramesh, his voice steady but tense. Jump core calibrated. Shield harmonics synced to the barrier's oscillations. Aria nodded. Initiate breach sequence. The Dauntless surged forward, engines flaring with blue fire. For a breathless moment, time seemed to stretch, and then they hit the wall. Reality folded. Sensors went blind. Gravity shifted. Every crew member felt their bones hum, as if space itself were rewriting the rules. Then silence. When they emerged, the stars were wrong. No constellations matched. The background radiation had changed. Space itself seemed colder. The galaxy they had left was gone, or perhaps they had entered another one entirely. "Systems stabilizing," said Ramesh. "We're somewhere else." Commander Calder paced toward the central console. Scan for life. Anything artificial. We didn't come this far to float in the void. Within moments, the ship's AI chimed in, detecting non-random radio emissions approximately 0.3 light-years from current position. Signal unknown. Structure detected massive. Aria turned. Plot a course. As they approached, a monolithic structure emerged from the dark, a rotating construct the size of a small moon, glowing with eerie bioluminescence. Strange runes ran along its surface. It looked like a cross between coral and machinery. "Are those life forms?" whispered Ramesh, pointing at the screen. Humanoid figures floated around the structure, without suits, bathed in a soft violet glow. Suddenly, a voice echoed across every speaker. "You should not be here, children of entropy." The bridge fell silent. "Identify yourself," Aria said, trying to remain calm. "We are explorers from the Terran Union. We breached the barrier to make contact. You breached the seal. The wall was not to contain you, it was to protect what lies beyond from you." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Another voice, softer now, entered the channel, a different entity. "But it was inevitable. We saw this coming in the long threads of time. Humanity, the defiers of fate." From the viewport, the floating figures began to approach. Aria stood her ground. "If we pose a threat, then why speak to us? Why not destroy us? Because we remember. We were once like you, driven by curiosity, by fire. But the fire burns, and your kind burns brighter than any we've seen." Suddenly, the structure pulsed. Images flooded the ship's systems, not data, but experiences. Memories. Whole civilizations that had crossed into this space before and were unmade. Thoughts twisted. Physics betrayed them. But through it all, one theme remained. Humanity was the first to breach it and remain sane. "You're afraid of us," Aria whispered. "Not afraid. Wary. You are a pivot point. A divergence. Your defiance could awaken things long dormant." At that moment, a shockwave pulsed through the alien structure, not hostile, but like a beacon. More of the space beyond lit up. Thousands of similar constructs stirred. Ancient watchers awakening. And then came a flicker at the edge of sensors, another vessel. Not human, not from known space. A jagged, dark shape bleeding entropy itself. The figures outside turned, alarmed. "It followed you." Ramesh looked panicked. "What did we bring through?" The alien voice answered grimly. "That which feeds on will. It sleeps in dead galaxies. You were loud. And now it is awake." Commander Calder narrowed her eyes. "Then help us fight it." A pause. "You choose battle over retreat?" "We're human," Arya said. "We break barriers. And we finish what we start." For the first time, the entity seemed amused. "Very well, Arya Calder of Terra. Let this be your proving ground." The structure began to shift, opening like a blooming flower. Energy surged into the Dauntless. The human systems adapted, learning, integrating. New weapons. New defenses. The ship became more than it was. And then the battle began. In the cold void beyond the known universe, humanity fought not just for survival, but for place as equals among ancient powers, as defiers of fate, as the species that looked into the unknown and said, "We are not afraid."